Example 2-2C builds on the framework that we've created so far. We expand the piece now by orchestrating it. So in general, we went for a gentle orchestration. To us, this two-chord structure sounds uplifting and magical, so we chose instruments to reflect this. At the very beginning, we add a brief introductory measure, just these A's on the violin to help ease us into the piece. Then our piece really begins here in measure 2, after the double bar line. Notice we still use piano, but the piano part is simpler now. It's been pared down, so it just supports the harmony, and it doesn't really carry the melody. Instead, we've distributed the melody to the flute up here, which is doubled by celeste and glockenspiel and viola down below. Also, over the course of the piece, we've changed the melody just a little bit. So the flute, celeste, and viola carry the melody, and piano outlines the harmony, and it plays the pedal point bass. And then the harp is dedicated to supporting the shifting harmonies. Harp literally goes back and forth playing these rolled D and E major chords. So let's put some of this together. I'd like to play just a few elements at once. Let's hear the flute plus the harp plus the violins. The flute gives us the melody, the harp gives us the harmony, and the violins sustain A throughout. So let's take a listen to the first 8 measures. So notice, whenever the harmony shifts to E over D, which happens every other measure, here in measure 3, measure 5, etc. In those measures, we get a little bit of dissonance, kind of like this. It's between the G sharp here and the sustaining A. It's not necessarily a bad thing, we're just blurring the harmony a little bit. The A is part of the D major chord, and when that A is next to this E major chord, it creates what I think is a beautiful dissonance that sounds somewhat modern. So the violins here are acting like another pedal point, just like the D in the piano. They're tying us to the sound of D major throughout. So that's what's happening in the first half of the piece. We kept the arrangement light and soft. There are no heavy bass instruments. Then let's look at measure 10. So here we have the key change, and not only do we modulate, but we expand the orchestration a bit. Now we have more strings, almost a full string section, and horns for the first time, and some lower woodwinds as well. Some things haven't changed much. The bass clef in the piano still plays a pedal point on D flat. Harp still plays rolled chords, and celeste and glockenspiel still play the melody, but now they're doubled by the treble clef of the piano. So that means the treble in the piano supports some harmony, and it's also playing melody. Notice first violins still sustain, but they move up to D flat. So they're sustaining the root of a D flat major chord. And violin 2 and viola play tremolo, and they're just supporting chord tones. So here they're playing F and A flat, and then E flat and G for the E flat major chord, and so on. So they're just supporting the harmony. Now cellos double the lower winds that are up here, and since they're doubled, this line stands out to me. It almost sounds like a counter line, but really they're just playing chord tones. And then the horns also support the harmonies right here. So this example is bigger, there are more instruments involved, but otherwise we're following the same basic arrangement as before. We have a pedal point bass, we have a melody, and we have instruments supporting the harmony. So as a recap, for the past 3 examples, we chose 2 major chords a whole step apart, D and E, and we used them for the basis of 2-2A using only a piano. In that piece, we used a pedal point bass and chord inversions, and we played around with ideas for a melody. And then in 2-2B, we added on to the piece by using the same 2-chord structure, but now in a different key. We got the idea to make the second half bigger. We have louder dynamics, and we played the melody in octaves at times. This example became an outline, or basically a blueprint for our next piece. Then in 2-2C, we expanded everything with orchestration to add color and dimension. Still, the core of this piece is based around our simple 2-chord structure.